Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Super Replay. We're playing Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I'm Kyle Hilliard. Marcus Stewart is here.
Kyle, let's get jiggy with it.
See? Nailed it. Nailed the intro redo in the archive. This is going to be just seamless. No one's going to know what we're talking about.
Hey, this is Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, did we say that? I think I said that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm asking just everyone in general. In case you're not aware, you see this game?
Nuts and Bolts.
This is the real deal.
This, what's going on in this level? The lighting looks different all of a sudden. Am I crazy?
Looks the way I remember it.
Okay, for some reason I don't.
Crazy mean? What do you?
Well, it doesn't. Not crazy. It's much brighter. Now it seems like there's like sun coming in or something. But maybe I'm just misremembering.
Is there? I know this game has a daylight cycle. Do you think that factor? Like, is there like a skylight where that would actually?
Well, yeah. See, that's like
fan.
casting shadows over everything.
Oh,
so maybe we were just in here at night. I think.
Maybe, because we have 2 more jiggies. Because we were doing stuff in here, but there's 2 jiggies left to procure. Procure. Hello everyone in chat. Hope everyone's having a lovely weekend. Kyle.
Yes.
Have you since last week gone to see Spider-Man?
No, I still haven't.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sure you would love to talk about it in more detail. I'm just carefully avoiding spoilers on Twitter. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Embarrassing, frankly.
Yes.
Just haven't had a chance.
You should be ashamed.
I am. I'm ashamed of my words and deeds.
There we go.
Which is my favorite. I think that's what Hideo Kojima said when everyone was critical of Quiet's outfit.
Wait, did he? I just remember him like doubling down and defending it.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone was like, "Why is she dressed like that? This is absurd. This is like, there's no reason that she needs to be dressed like that." And Hideo Kojima was like, "When you learn about why she's dressed like this in the story, you will be ashamed of your words and deeds." And then we all collectively found out why she was, dressed so scantily clad in the game, and we're like, no, that was stupid. It was just an excuse to put an attractive woman in very little clothing.
Yeah, it's like, honestly, it could have been more excusable if we didn't already have an example of a photosynthesis person with the end who was fully clothed. Like, that was my big thing. It was like, well, it's like, I could get that argument if you didn't already have a character with the same power who was fully clothed. I mean, I guess you could say she's different, but like, if this was the first photosynthesis person, then I'd be like, yeah, I guess that makes sense that if she breathes through her skin, you can't really cover her skin off. That adds up.
The other thing is you could unlock clothes for her. Like, she could wear clothes.
They should have had her like panting whenever she wore clothes. She's in a helicopter, just breathing heavily.
Too hot. Yeah, he said, what is this tweet from September 7th, 2013? But once you recognize the secret reason for her exposure, you will feel ashamed of your words and deeds. That's an official Hideo Kojima tweet.
Look at you digging up tweets.
Well, it's a popular one.
That is a good one. You think he's ever told that to anyone else? Like anyone that he found offensive? That's just like his thing of like he doesn't have kids, right? Do we know?
I think he does actually, yes, but he definitely does, because that's what inspired Metal Gear Solid, was playing hide and seek with his kids.
Okay, I was like, do you think he said that to them when they messed up? Like,
yeah, that's what he said to Konami on the way out the door.
Oh, that was like his mic drop on the final day.
That's right. Yeah.
He's like, wait till I go make this. I got this really cool idea for a guy that walks across the country and makes piss grenades. And when you guys see it, you're gonna be ashamed of your words and deeds. You just wait.
Be like, I wish we'd finance those piss grenades.
Let's see. New airborne game created by Humba and Gimmick. Free Hag Trolls Clan. Humba call it Bear. Is it another racing?
Red Bear Racing? Like Red Baron? Is that the idea? Oh, why Red Baron, right?
Did not connect that, perhaps.
I mean, I'm assuming. I don't know.
I like her, like, Attitude Era Jeff Jarrett classes. I know you won't get that reference, Kyle, but...
I'm guessing it's a wrestling thing, right?
Believe it or not, yes.
Oh, Marcus making a wrestling reference. This is hitting all the notes of a typical episode of Replay.
What else haven't we done that we usually do? We could just get them all in now.
Tears of the Kingdom. Been playing still. I actually haven't been playing Tears of the Kingdom much lately. I would just never shut up about Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, Do you feel okay not playing? Oh wait, did I back out too far?
I desperately miss it. I gotta be honest.
Are you going to like, maybe withdrawal is a strong word, but like,
Yeah.
is it like that? I had this with Elden Ring last year, and I actually wrote a whole feature about it, about like putting over 150 hours in the game, loving it. It's my game of the year, but then finishing it, I was like in a legit like post Elden Ring depression, where like nothing else was grabbing me. Like it was so hard to get into other games because it was like it's not this, and it was like a real slump that took it was like gradually I had to work myself to get back into it.
Yeah, I'm experiencing that right now for sure. Like Diablo hasn't clicked with me yet. Planet of Lana, I was like, I need to play some more and try to get into. There's another secret game that I started playing that I like so far, but I don't want to. We don't have to. It's no fun to hear someone talk about secret games.
I like secret games.
Secret games.
Secret.
But it is, yeah. I'm definitely having that thing where I'm like, I miss Tears of the Kingdom, but I'm kind of like, but there's nothing in the game I really want to do necessarily. You know, I could start over, but I was like, I don't want to do that. And
I don't know if you feel the same way, but with Elden Ring, I was like, I could keep playing, like, you know, cleaning up some stuff, even though it's pretty thorough, but there's other stuff I haven't done. But it's like, I can't keep coming back to this. Like, I don't want this to be an anchor that prevents me from enjoying other stuff that comes out this year. So it's like I almost forced myself to stop playing it once I was done.
Did you, I did, which is uncharacteristic of me, I did start it over again. Like, I did New Game Plus.
Zelda or Elden Ring?
Oh, Elden Ring.
No. I don't replay games it's weird. Diablo is the exception right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is it's just that the review period for that was so stressful that I just kind of want to play that game and enjoy it without a very terrifying deadline. So I think that's helped too, and it helps that you can pick different classes and stuff like that, which, I mean, you could do in Elden Ring, but I don't know. It's the exception to the rule, I guess. But yeah, by and large, I think New Game Plus is cool, but I very rarely take advantage of it.
Same. The thing that made it click so much with Elden Ring is, I did want to get all the trophies, and like one of the easiest ways to do that, I guess the easiest way to do that is to sort of like create separate saves near the end, which I just missed the window to do that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well, I'll start over, you know, quote unquote, because it's New Game Plus. And the thing that really is super fun about Elden Ring, like New Game Plus, is like you blast through the bosses that gave you trouble.
Oh, like Margit is like the first one that everyone sucked with.
Yeah, like it was a blast to, and actually when you know where you're going in that game and you can like take on the bosses no problem, like you sprint through that game because like it's genuinely open world, you know, so it's like it's not like there's these big gates you need to open to make progress. It's just like, I'm going to go beeline here. I'm going to take out these bosses that took me a million tries in the past, but now they're taking me like one try each. And that was like super fun. I actually really enjoyed that. I'm glad I went through the trouble of doing it.
Oh, God, what a game.
What a game.
Yeah, it's an all-timer for me, for sure. Yeah, I had a feeling my plane was significantly slower than her plane.
Well, remember what we did last time we ran into this issue.
That's a good point. I might have to do that. Let me see.
Throw another engine on that sucker.
Let me make sure I don't have another plane to work with. I think I just have that one. Yeah, we're gonna have to take this into the shop and get a little upgrade here. So it was just more engines. Was all it took.
Yeah, that's probably we fixed it last time. By the way, Lazarus Orange has a tip for you, Marcus. Make the best plane ever. Is their suggestion.
What would the best plane ever entail besides more engine? You think of like more wings?
More wings. Well, I wonder. I do fear if we put more engines, is it gonna like weigh it down? Does it work like that?
You see, there's some space here. You see this little back part there? Almost looks like you could slide in 2 engines. See that?
No, excuse me. Oh yeah. You gonna try to do that?
Yeah, it looks like it's already got that to adjust the way power.
Do you have engines right now?
Yeah. I got engines for days, man.
Those things that have like they look like fans at the front?
No, that's fuel, I believe. Like gasoline, I think. It's not an engine though. I mean, there is an engine there that you see in the middle there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's got a small engine, which the boat only had one engine too, and we saw how well that worked out. So how about we do that? I wish I could put it in the center. It probably won't affect things too much, especially if I'm going fast. Like it might not matter if I'm just blowing her out of the water.
Does it? Yeah. Does it? Will it lean left? Does it factor in those kind of things?
I mean,
weight
it can. We've seen weight be a problem, but I just don't. I don't anticipate it being that big of a problem. No.
Right.
It is a factor, but I think we can skirt by with this.
All right. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, I guess you can always come back again. Make the best plane ever.
I think we made a tailspin joke already, but I'm just gonna. You put a bear in a plane, I'm just gonna think a tailspin.
Yeah, as you should.
Yeah. Hell of a show. Is anyone in chat old enough to remember that old like Disney afternoon block, like Tailspin and like Darkwing Duck? I gotta save this. Oh, actually, no. Yeah. All right.
I was of that age, but for some reason I didn't watch a lot of that.
Yeah,
for some
Gummy Bears
reason.
was in there.
I was watching. Was Batman the Animated Series that window too, or was that
not Disney? But it was an afternoon like cartoon. Like I would watch it after school. It wasn't Disney though.
Okay, well that's what I'm saying. I think I was watching that instead of the Disney stuff. Like I was all in on Batman. I love the animated series.
Oh yeah, that shows. I watched a clip recently. Also, chat, let us know if you have a name for this plane that is now super fast.
Oh right, yeah.
What would you call a fast plane? I was watching a clip of the episode from Batman the Animated Series where he fights the child actress that couldn't grow up. Forgot her name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of like the Shirley Temple looking girl, and like it was a clip of the end when she's like freaking out with the mirrors and stuff, and shooting trying to shoot Batman. And I've forgotten how heavy that scene was. I mean, that whole episode is like. It never. I've gone back and watched a few random episodes of Batman the Animated Series. I need to sit down and do like a full watch through, and I've just been putting it off. But like every time I revisit it as an adult, I'm always like, man, this show. I knew it was dark as a kid, but you realize as an adult, like this is really like some heavy stuff they were presenting to like 7-year-old me or however old I was.
By the way, Changelini suggests the slippery dog. Which I like.
Okay. I like that's creative.
Thus, you gotta get the in there.
You think the okay.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I Batman the Animated Series I loved, and I remember even my dad watching over our shoulder once, and him even kind of being like, "Wow, that was pretty good. That was good." Like he was like, mostly it would just ignore everything we were watching. But I think it was the episode where Bruce gets like stuck in a dream. And like
was that
the dream is
villains? Was that?
Well, it was a Mad Hatter episode, but he was stuck in a dream world where his parents were still alive.
Oh, I think I vaguely remember that.
And he finally got out of it because he realized, ooh, how's this feeling?
Oh, look at this! First of all, I need to get.
Are you leaning too much though, or is it okay?
There is some. Okay, so
boy, too
it's
fast.
Yeah, it's like I think it might be too fast. There is like a.
Maybe just.
Okay, let me restart. I could.
Maybe just one medium engine.
Yeah. It's like there was some lean, but it was more the speed was.
Oh, okay.
I think maybe the checkpoints are too close together to you got to be turning.
Yeah, maybe just keep it to that one medium engine on the middle back.
So the not so slippery dog.
Yeah, that's what we should rename it.
The slightly rough, slightly grippable dog.
But that Batman episode, the big thing is Batman figured out he was in a dream because he couldn't read text. He would like open a book and all the letters and sentences and stuff were jumbled, and he couldn't read, and that's how he figured out he was in a dream. And I remember my dad being like, that's good. That's an interesting narrative device. That was like good storytelling, Yeah.
Did he watch after that? Or did he keep watching?
No, I think he's just would, if we were watching it, he'd sort of catch a few episodes here and there. But it was not. It never became destination viewing for him.
He gets excited. Batman's on. Let me let me pull up a chair. I mean, my mom used to watch cartoons with us all the time, and she liked Batman the animated series. She liked all those DC animated shows. Yeah. But her number one superhero show was the old X-Men the animated series.
Oh sure, yeah.
Like, that was her, like, when she heard that theme song come on, she would,
speaking of good themes,
she'd be like, oh, is X-Men on? And she would run up right beside me and my brother and just. And she has watched X-Men everything. Like, that is just her jam. She's seen all the animated shows. I've even seen all the animated shows. But oh man, this is still fast, but I think it's just fast enough. The maneuver. It is sensitive. The turning. It's like.
But you are winning though, right? Like it's.
Yeah. If we lose, I almost wonder if it would be better add maybe just a second small engine to get the extra boost, but still retain the maneuverability.
Yeah, you're going like too fast.
Yeah. But we might not have to worry about it because I think I'm beating him pretty handily right now.
Yeah, I think you're all right.
Now I have the X-Men song in my head.
Aren't they like doing new episodes of that or something?
They're doing like a sequel series to it.
Okay.
I forgot what they're calling it, but it's coming to Disney Plus. They've announced it or maybe shown it at like a D23 or something.
Because it's gonna have like a similar art style and stuff, right?
Yeah, like they're basically like, hey, remember that thing you liked? We're just gonna do that again, but it's like new, but it's that again.
Oh no, did you miss a
Barely, but I think he's still too far behind. Oh my god, the turning is so wide. I have to go. Oh my god. I was at the end.
Bummer.
I was at the end of it.
What do you think? Do you want to just do it again, or do you want to put a smaller engine on? You think?
I kind of want to put a smaller engine on just to. I'm curious. I'm like in a tinkering mood. All right, let's. It's just kind of like, you know, it's a little bit of Goldilocks here. Like that one was too hot, that one was too cold. So it's just right.
Zangmaster asks, who would win in a fight, Banjo or Kazooie?
I mean, Kazooie.
Probably Kazooie.
I mean, one, Kazooie can fly, and that's a big advantage. But also, Kazooie's just got. I think Banjo's too nice, you know.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the only reason when they attack, it's Kazooie doing the attacks. He just spins around and propel, but it's her doing the actual making contact.
Yeah, she's the one coughing up eggs as guns or whatever, in the 64 games.
Yeah, think about the implication there. Like she is willingly sacrificing her potential children just to be like, yeah, let's just murder this thing. Okay, I put 2 small engines on. I think that's. I wonder if that's going to be the equivalent of 1 medium engine.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Oscar, always checking in chat. Always good to see Oscar's asking if we watched Summer Game Fest yesterday. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we covered it on the site.
And we have a podcast coming soon.
Yeah, which Marcus is currently processing in the back end of YouTube.
Yes.
So it'll be up a little while after this stream, maybe like an hour or two, something like that.
Yeah, the video should be up then, and then the audio should be up this evening. You know, we waited so that we could react to Summer Games Fest, but yeah, you'll hear Kyle and I go super in depth about it. You know.
Yeah. I think Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, weirdly our MVP of the show.
Yeah, it's like that. And if you could do a top 3, it's gonna be that, Sonic, and Nicolas Cage. Just in general, like just Nicolas Cage's presence.
And Final Fantasy VII was cool too. That was.
That was. I think it's because it was I expected it to be there.
It was less of a surprise. Yeah.
Yeah. Despite what Jeff, I really can't get over his build up to that, where he was so emotional about it, and it was like, oh, it's just that thing that that was already announced and we've seen, but also was heavily teased to show up here. But he's like, guys, the rumors are true, and I'm a little salty because for those few seconds I was running through my database of rumored projects. I'm like, look at this bee that he's so emotional about it. This must be big. And then
is it finally time for Half-Life?
Honestly, there was a moment Half-Life Alyx coming. Yes, that'd be a weird way to end, but it would be cool. And it's I was I'm almost resentful that you made me semi-disappointed in Final Fantasy VII, which I want to play, and I'm happy to see. But oh, I thought this would be something bigger, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So I don't appreciate that, Jeff. Don't play with my heart like that.
That bit, I don't know. Did you catch that bit right after they showed the Final Fantasy VII mobile games? And what it was is he was talking about like a Final Fantasy 16 giveaway with Taco Bell.
Oh, like when people got excited, like the crowd started to rise a little bit, and
like,
he's
I
like,
think,
whoa.
Yeah, I think Keeley said something like that's not all for Final Fantasy, and everyone was like, and then he was like, well, it's just Taco Bell, you guys, I'm sorry. That was so funny.
Check under your seats, you have a Taco Bell coupon.
There is a taco. It's been there for a few hours, you know, but
just
probably still good.
A bunch of prepared chalupas under the seats. Yeah, you know. Okay, this was the right balance.
So you had two small engines.
Yeah. So I got speed, but I was still very much in control.
Cool. You did it.
There we go. First jiggy of the stream.
First jiggy of the stream.
It's a good song. It's a good like if you mashed up Will Smith with maybe like a Bruce Springsteen. First jiggy of the string.
First jiggy of the string. Any predictions for the Xbox showcase? Asks who is that? Zangmaster. Which not this last week on the podcast. I think we had a few. I think Marcus and I are both kind of bullish on Fable.
Right.
We're hoping to see some kind of Fable something. And then what was the other one? I think Charles had the prediction for
Avowed.
Avowed. Yeah, I had to look up the name. Avowed.
Which I also predict that. I'm just not brave enough to have done it when there was something on the line, because I've been wrong about that game appearing in basically every other showcase since it was announced. So
yeah.
I'm gonna let him fall on that sword. But in my heart, I do kind of think this might be the one.
I mean, it feels like, man, they need some stuff.
Do you think that, speaking of Avowed, do you remember that they announced The Outer Worlds 2, like, 2 years ago? Do you think we'll ever hear about that before, like, do you think we'll hear about that before Avowed comes out, or is that just going to be quiet until Avowed is closer to release? Like, do you think they can talk about both?
I think I would have a better. I would predict like a higher percentage that we will see Outer Worlds 2 before Avowed. Like if we saw an Outer Worlds 2 gameplay trailer on Sunday, I think that's more likely than any kind of Avowed anything.
Wow. Is that just the virtue of being an unknown quantity?
Yeah, and it being a sequel, they kind of know what they're doing. You know, like the trailer for the announcement was it was pretty funny actually.
Yeah, they just made it like the most generic space shooter ever. And then they're like,
yeah, were they? Yeah, and it was just all about how everything you were seeing was all like they didn't even know if it was going to be in the final game or anything, right? It was like, yeah, I like that game. Okay, I don't usually play those. Like, I don't usually get into those kinds of games, which it's like almost
Bethesda style RPGs. That's the best
like
way I can describe it.
Like Fallout with more choices, kind of like. But I played that game. I finished that game.
I liked, as a Fallout fan, I appreciated that it was clearly going for that, but it was also a much more like tighter and abbreviated experience. Like it wasn't like a 50-hour thing. It was like, oh, if you condense Fallout to like maybe a 25-hour thing, I kind of like that. It just felt a little more focused.
I don't think I could have stuck. I don't think I would have stuck with it if we were getting to that 60, 70-hour zone. I think that would have been too much for me.
Yeah. Also, it had one of the best characters of the year with what was her name? Bavardi, the girl that's in your party.
Is that
mechanic girl with the southern accent?
Is that Ashley?
Birch?
Yeah, Ashley Birch plays that character, I think, right?
I believe that was her. She's like the first party member you get.
Yeah, she was cool.
Yeah, she was a sweetheart. Also, what just happened?
What the hell? What is going on?
My chair break?
Because like pieces fall off. What is going on?
I thought it...
What the heck? What is happening?
Wait. I think this guy hit me and it broke my little chair? Is this you? Did you do this?
I didn't. Are you talking to me?
No, this guy, I'm trying to get a confession out of him. Oh, that's a first.
That was bizarre. Can you fix it?
Well, now I'm getting hit in the face by stuff. Oh, I'm trying to grab it, but he's there we go.
Okay, she's like,
Okay, I was like, what's this little spot? And there it is. Oh boy. Oh boy.
okay, so you have to like put it on,
Yeah, I'm trying to
put it back on.
There we go. I'm trying
That's
to
a
see if
weird
the
thing.
Yeah, that's. You don't want that to happen while you're driving. Like, imagine driving your car and then you're just ejected from the car while you're still strapped in. I'm trying to find this Jiggy. I can't tell which level it's on. I think it might.
Well,
be
what color is it? Because I think it's like green is above, blue is on your level, and I think red is below.
See, what's tricky is that the icon looks like it's. There's another completed icon over it, so I can't get a good sense of it. Right, it keeps changing. But it should be. Yeah, you see how that blue icon is like right over it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get to where I can. But I think it's red, which would mean below, right?
I think so.
So it would be like right. Would it be where I was? Like, I'm down here? Okay, it still says it's below. Okay, I can see it better now. So I didn't think I was high enough. Okay, it's on that. Okay. I see now. Okay, there you are. I would say one of my biggest complaints about the game is that you just don't have a full map that you can just open. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be handy.
Alright, sorry I hit you, by the way.
Geekum bokum.
Alrighty.
Keep Gloober cool, or Glubber.
Lord Britannia made a Tears of the Kingdom joke in chat.
Hold on, I gotta see this thing. Who is it?
Lords Britannia?
Tears of the Kingdom gameplay. No, lots of Tears of the Kingdom jokes. Lords Britannia. Someone said, "Oh, you're playing the Tears of the Kingdom prequel," and I was like, "Yeah, that's called Breath of the Wild."
No, actually, it's called Age of Calamity.
Oh, I guess so.
I mean, it's not incorrect.
That game, Age of Calamity. I was hoping that game. I was really excited for. All right, here's the deal with Age of Calamity, right? I was so excited for a dour Zelda story, right? Because the whole premise of Breath of the Wild is like Link and Zelda lost, right? Which is like a fun idea. Is like, what if they didn't win? What if you were sort of cleaning up the mess after failed attempt to stop Ganon, you know?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I love about Breath of the Wild is it's kind of a dour, sort of sad kind of story, right? That ends in a happy way, but like when you start out, you're like, yeah, we failed. Like we have to come back from failure.
Yeah. It's the
and
end game of Zelda.
Yeah, and like Age of Calamity, I was like, oh, I want to see the failure. I want to see the failure. Like, I want that game to end, which like, it's rare that...
Give me failure.
It's rare that a story can end with failure like that. And it would have been fine because, like, we know what happens in Breath of the Wild. You can end it in failure, but spoiler alert, that game does not end in failure, and I don't like the ending, and it makes me upset.
I've never seen anyone cheer so hard for failure.
Well, I wanted the Empire Strikes Back ending.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, that's what I wanted, you know? And
Is there a Lando in Zelda? Like, who's the Lando of Zelda?
Like a cool character.
Like a scoundrel. You can't totally trust them, but you kind of want to, but you can never be sure.
Groose?
Yeah, suave is how I would describe Bruce.
Yeah, right.
I was like,
I'm surprised they haven't made a Zelda farming game yet, says Zangmaster. Well, spoiler alert for Tears of the Kingdom, but you can do a little farming in that game. Not a lot, but some.
You can do farming in Like a Dragon Ishin, which is kind of fun. Just the
Oh, yeah?
the game that lets you run a full farm. I think it was, it might have been in Slack yesterday where I was during the Mortal Kombat 1 demo, and I think we were talking about Fae Farm, and basically like Mortal Kombat and farming became the intersection, and I said that I would 100% play a Mortal Kombat farming sim.
Would that be like a character decides to leave the tournament and go live a simple life, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's like an Outworld, and I don't know, let's say it's Baraka because he's got those big like blade arms, so he could use those to cut crops and stuff. Like Baraka retires from fighting and he's like with his scary face like, oh, I'm just gonna grow some crops. And yeah, he's just cutting down corn with his knife arms. That'd be cool.
So it's like, yeah, it's like Thanos at the beginning of Endgame, right? Where he's just
exactly.
like I went through some stuff. I just wanna eat melon or whatever it is I'm doing now.
Cutting off heads just doesn't do it anymore. I just need something simple now, you know? Or maybe he could he makes scarecrows out of the bodies of his victims to kind of keep it still Mortal Kombat-y. Like, you gotta have something messed up in there. So, like, maybe now and then invaders show up to mess up your crop and he, like, stabs them to death and then stakes their bodies.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. You listening, Ed Boon?
In that era, what was it, like Mortal Kombat, Deadly, Deadly Alliance?
You're right, like Deadly Alliance.
And Deception?
Yeah, and Armageddon too, like those PS2 era, like the 2000s games.
That just had so many like weird mini games. Didn't one of them have a kart racer in it,
Yeah,
right?
Deception. They had the puzzle game, the chess, like they went for it for like that decade. There's like, I don't know, what can we shove in here?
I'm surprised there wasn't like a farming sim in one of those, but I guess the genre was not very popular at the time. Now it's like the most popular.
I was watching the like one of the directs, and yeah, it was like every other game now is either farming or has some sort of building component.
Yeah,
which is interesting. I guess it makes sense, you know, Minecraft's still popular and stuff like, I mean, Tears of the Kingdom is only going to fuel that fire because, you know, people have just really gravitated towards the Ultra Hand stuff. Like, it's kind of cool that this generation of, like, kids, like, that's the big thing is like, hey, I just want to be able to make my own stuff and be creative. Like, just give me the tools and I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That's a good sign for the future, I think.
Minecraft is like a game that I play now and I don't really get into in a big way, but I'm like, I wish I had this as a kid. This would have been my life. I totally understand why kids get into it as much as they do.
Yeah, I've only played Minecraft a handful of times, but I've never like really spent serious time with it. So I don't even know if I would like get into it for realsies because I just haven't given it a chance. But I like watching little kids play it.
It's one of those games that you kind of have to have sort of invent your own motivation.
Yeah.
Which is like cool, but also it's for gamers like you and me, Marcus. It's kind of like, well, I mean, what am I supposed to be doing here? You know, like is there a goal or what? You know, and the answer is like, yeah, not really, but.
Yeah, and I can do that sometimes. It depends on the game. It's funny. The only Minecraft game I've ever beaten was Dungeons. Yeah.
Right.
I actually played that with Ana Diaz.
Oh, really?
For a good bit, yeah. When it came out, her and Shannon Liao, which is pretty fun.
Oh, that's so random. What? Oh, like for like a video or
no,
like
just
you
for
guys?
Fun.
You guys played through like the whole game?
Not the whole game. There's actually a period where we couldn't figure out how to do co-op, and then we figured it out, and then we played like a good bit of it, and then I think we were like, wow, this is harder than we thought it would be. Like, I think that was a recurring point of the session. Like, oh, this is pretty tough for a Minecraft game, huh?
Yeah, I play a little with my kid, but we didn't get very far. You know how I feel about that genre. I hate it.
Oh, boy.
I played the first like hour of the recent Minecraft game as well, the one that's RTS.
Yeah, I downloaded it, but I haven't fired it up yet. I just kind of want to check it out, even though I've never played RTS. But are you an RTS guy? Or?
No, not really. Oh, that little banjo.
Hey, new level.
You know where that is?
Yep. I see that.
What is it?
Oh, another one.
Oh,
Options. Look at this. The world is our oyster on this stream. You can do anything. I get another one? Okay. I'll say, slow down. I just want to get to know you. But don't turn around. That pretty round thing looks good to me. Alright. The first one, I believe, is on the water. Like the first one we unlocked just now. It's like one of the beach. I guess it's not really a beach, but...
Is it a whole new level? Or is it a new
like
Jiggy and an old level?
No, it's like a whole new level.
Okay, because that's
Like-
where I'd want to go. Like somewhere entirely new. That'd be fun.
Yeah, oh boy. You know...
You trying to remember where it is?
Wait, actually, look at the mini-map. See this question mark thing? Is that what... They're telling me they're over there?
Oh, I don't know. And we're sure there's not a map, right?
We've had this conversation.
Okay, I thought we had. I think I even Googled it, right? And that was the answer. It was like, nope,
Yeah.
there's no map. Why would you think there's a map, you fool?
Is that what it said?
Yeah.
Also, I forgot I had to deploy the floaters. I was like, oh, I'm sinking.
yeah, I was wondering what was going on there. I was like, oh, I'm surprised. I thought we figured it out.
So yeah, okay, so here's this one, and then the other one's on the other side. I think the one on the other side, I don't think we've really been over here, like, at all. So let's look at that. Let's see. What do we got here? Something Land? Oh, is it Banjo Land again?
Okay, so this...
So this is Act
Okay.
5 of Banjo Land.
Well, we can go there if you want. Banjo Land's cool. I like that stage.
Okay, I'm saying, is there anything else here? I know, see that one... Okay, looks like there's only 2 to unlock here. Okay. The Banjo Land. Alright. The banjoist place on Earth. I don't... What would the slogan be for Banjo Land?
The bluegrass. It's like more banjo than a bluegrass festival.
I like that. It's creative. I was gonna go with a stupid pun, but like you won't bear to want to leave.
you won't bear to want to leave. You won't bear to leave. We got let's tighten it up.
There you go. This is why you're good at her. All right. Let's see. We got 3 jiggies in here, and one.
Did you just like fling that penguin off the? Just like,
who can say?
there's no way of knowing, unfortunately.
I won't tell if he won't tell.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh yeah, this was the ship.
Oh yeah, the rusty bucket, right?
Was that the name? I'll give you a cookie if that was correct. I don't
I think
remember.
so. I mean, I think that was the thing. It was because these are a lot of references to the 64 games, and the rusty
Yep.
bucket was one of the levels, right?
Yep. Rare. Tie
What did I
cross?
get? What did you promise me? I already forgot.
A cookie.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'll take a
Okay.
cookie.
What kind of cookie? What's your favorite cookie?
Is it weird that I feel like we've had this conversation recently, and we were talking about?
I think we have.
Because I think we landed on oatmeal raisin without raisins.
Oh, maybe in a different video or something like
I
that.
swear we talked
GI
about it.
show.
At some
I think we
point
might have.
recently.
I think we might have talked about it with Alex. Actually, I think he was. a
Oh
part of
yeah, I
this.
think that's what it was. It was like a question someone wrote in. But I like a good oatmeal raisin, and I like. Recently, I've been getting into snickerdoodles. Snickerdoodle
Wait,
cookies.
were
like
you not
cinnamon.
into snickerdoodles before?
Well, they were always like, if there's a snickerdoodle, I just realized the mole's eyeballs are like separate from his head. They're like in his glasses because of that camera angle. Like if there's a snickerdoodle present, I'd be happy to eat a snickerdoodle. But like in the last couple of years, I've been seeking out the snickerdoodle.
Okay. Have you made them yet? Have you gotten to that point?
No, I've never made any.
Very
I've
easy.
made like from scratch chocolate chip in the last couple of years because my family really just likes chocolate chip.
Yeah.
And I do like to bake and I like to cook, but I haven't tried to make snickerdoodle. Maybe I should try. It's like a little cinnamon, right? It's probably like a. What's in a
Yeah.
snickerdoodle?
I mean, it's just. I mean, the thing that separates a snickerdoodle from a sugar cookie, because some people think snickerdoodles are sugar cookies, but with cinnamon, and that is
Right.
not true because you need cream of tartar in a snickerdoodle to make it like that is the one defining ingredient is cream of tartar in the dough.
Okay.
Like that gives the snickerdoodle sort of like a tanginess that like a regular sugar cookie doesn't have. So like literally, if you're making a snickerdoodle without cream of tartar, then you're not doing it right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I pulled up a random recipe. But yeah, 2 teaspoons cream of tartar. Very important.
I think the second sentence says like, if you don't have it, why are you here? Like, go buy some. I think we're gonna have to whip out the claw with a gun because I need a herding device.
The claw with a gun.
I think we need a herding car, and I don't know if I need to shoot these sheep, but you know, it never hurts to be prepared. But yeah, I love baking too, and I love cooking, and I always tell people like, because chocolate chip cookies are my number one, like especially a nice homemade chocolate chip cookie. And what's nice that it's very easy to make. And I've always thought baking was easier than people give credit for, because it's like honestly cooking is harder because baking, you have to be exact. Like you have, like if you can follow instructions, then you can bake.
Yeah, and it's a lot of waiting. It's just like you put stuff in the oven and wait around.
Yeah, like
where a lot of cooking is like you gotta keep an eye on stuff, and
it's like there's no fiddling around with baking. Like I'll just add an extra pinch of this. Like no, don't do that, or don't say like I'm gonna withdraw a cup of flour. And like, all right, that's have fun with whatever mess comes out of that. Where am I taking these sheep?
My new thing lately has been like getting into the minutia of it. Of like, apparently room temperature eggs are better for baking and stuff like that. Like
I've heard that. Yeah.
You know, and
a cold
like
water
those
for
kind, like those
certain doughs,
right?
Like ice cold water.
Like trying some of those tricks rather than just like getting a handful of ingredients and mixing them together. It's like no, we gotta try to do some fancy tricks here. Do you need to put a floater on that?
Okay, no. I thought there's a bridge. I just noticed it.
Okay.
Just the way the camera was angled, I thought, I was gonna say like, oh, do I need to cross with this? But
so I think you only need 7 for a jiggy. So if you lose 1 in the water, I don't think that's a big deal.
I don't need to rescue that one then.
Because there's way more than 7, right? I'm not.
Oh yeah, there's like double that.
Okay.
It looks like. Yeah. Okay.
Like I'm not misreading that, right? Top of the screen.
No. You're good. You're good. I'm glad you saw it because I didn't notice that, so I was gonna spend way too much time trying to fish that one out when I don't have to.
Is this the claw? Is it like wide enough?
But I mean these enemies are here too, so I think it's good enough for only having to get 7.
Okay.
And it's gonna
because I guess if you.
But I could edit it if necessary.
The question would be if you want to go through the trouble of trying to make it big enough to transport like 2 at a time, I guess, right? But I don't know. I don't think that's worth it.
Yeah.
You can probably make 7 trips, I would assume. Do these guys? That's it, right? Okay, so that's great. Okay, because I thought maybe they had to like stay in there. Maybe the enemies might knock them out again. That would just be too hard, though.
That'd be. They would be mean to make me do that. Not as mean as I am with this gun. Give me my piece back, please. Thank you. All right, 6 more to go. See, Lazarus Orange saying they don't have Girl Scout cookies in Australia, so bake some yourself. You make copycat recipes of Samoas.
Oh, weird.
I've never done that. I mean, we get Girl Scouts here, obviously. You know what's weird? And I get a lot of crap for this, Kyle. I love cookies. I love sweets. But I only really like one variety of Girl Scout cookies. And it's the most boring one. Like, I love the trefoils, which is the shortbread ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Those are my jam. But like Samoas and Thin Mints and, I don't know, Dozy Doughs. I don't know all the names. But I'm like, they're okay, but I can eat like 1 or 2 and then I'm kind of good. I never want a box of them. And
I went way overboard on Samoas, like, where, I don't know, maybe I was like high school or something, when I had my own money from like my, after school job or whatever. Oh, did you win?
I know I ran out of time. Okay, I think we're gonna need to make
you do need to do more than 1 at a time.
We're gonna the claw with a gun's gonna need an upgrade.
All right, we can upgrade the claw with a gun. But I went like I really liked Samoas, right? Those are the coconut chocolate caramel ones, right?
Yeah.
And
everybody loves those.
Yeah, they're great. But in like high school, I don't know, what are they, like $3 or $4 a box or something, I remember, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to buy like 6 boxes of these things. And it's going to last me for months. And I like ate a ton of them over a short period of time. And now because of that, I'm like a little cool on them. You know, I went too overboard.
Yeah, like you got tired of them now.
Yeah, and I never recovered from that.
I did that with salt and vinegar flavored Lay's, where as a kid, that was my favorite chip. Like I had to have salt and vinegar Lay's, but like around when I started, when I became a teenager was when I was like, I can't do this anymore, and I still have not recovered from that. Like you ate too many. Yeah, that was like the only chip I wanted to eat.
Yeah, it's that period in your life where like it's not like you have a lot of money or anything, but you can make like food decisions on your own, and you just like go crazy on like these things that maybe were like harder to come by when you were younger, I guess, or like, you know, maybe your parents rightly just, it's like, yeah, you don't need to eat 8 boxes of Samoas or 7 bags of like salt and vinegar Lace. You know? Yeah,
you start to realize
you do get the
moderation was important, like your parents always said.
Yeah.
God. Did your mom ever use to monitor your sort of like snack input? Like, did you have like rations? Like, you can have 1 snack cake a day or anything like that? Because my mom kind of did that, and it would be, but I would always cheat. But it was always like, you had to be careful. We're like, I'm gonna have 2 snack cakes today, but I know that she knows that this box comes with 6, so I can't run out too soon because she just bought them, and then I don't want to explain why we're already out of snack cakes.
Right. So you got to kind of like slow it down. You got to be careful.
You have to get real. There are a lot of tricks involved.
It's like you got to be prepared to not have one tomorrow if you're gonna eat 2 today.
Yeah, that too.
Well, my parents did the annoying trick of just not really keeping a lot of sweets in the house in general. Those jerks.
This is why I have to bake cookies now.
Yeah, right. No, we weren't. It wasn't that crazy, but it was. Yeah, they usually just tried to. My parents even today are pretty healthy eaters, like basically vegetarians.
Okay. You know, I have a huge sweet tooth, but I also try not to keep sweets in the house.
It's the right call. I hope my sarcasm is visible when I'm calling jerks.
See, my thing is, it's more because I know how I am. And it's like, if I get a box of like cookies, I'm going to eat them all in like 1 or 2 sittings because that's just how I am. So like, by not keeping them in the house, if I want it, I have to go out and get it, which can be a deterrent of like, oh, I don't want to go to the store. And then maybe I just, just don't do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's kind of harsh, but at the same time, it kind of keeps me from, I don't know,
going crazy,
putting on weight, maybe some unnecessary weight.
Oh, sorry, but I feel like I don't know if you're still gonna have enough time. Like, right? Like, do you need to be able to carry more than 1 at a time?
How much time did it? Oh, I have 2 minutes. Yeah,
you had about 2.5 minutes, and that took you like 30 seconds to get 1.
That's a good point. I almost suggested something that would only work in Tears of the Kingdom, where I was gonna say like, what if I got the cart and I used the Ultra Hand thing to just put a bunch on, and I used, I just glued them all together because I've solved puzzles. Yeah, like the lady that has the plushies. That's how I solve her stuff. I'm like, just roll them up into a sticky ball and then put them in the cart, and that's it.
Just Katamari them all together.
Yeah, pretty much. And I was like, oh wait, I can't. No, it's not an option here.
That's a different game.
I'm kind of getting 2. Oh boy. Yeah, I wonder
are there enemies like shooting at you?
No, I killed the ones that were here.
I mean, you could widen it again, maybe.
Maybe I get a bunch and bring them here, and then I push them all. Like, I get half of them up here, and then I sort of like let gravity take care of the rest on the other side. You know what I mean?
Oh, maybe. But I don't think they're gonna go into the gate on their own, though, right?
No, but it'll be easier than having to guide them all if they're all like just in the ballpark.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see. I still got a full minute. And I got 1 in, and this is 4, so I need 2 more after this. So I think it's doable for fast enough.
So Lazarus Orange answered a question that I didn't ask out loud, but I was curious about. Lazarus Orange made copycat Samoa cookies because they live in Australia, and I was like, well, how did you even hear about them? apparently Kim Wallace, former GI editor Kim Wallace, was talking about Samoas on a Super Replay, and it made them curious. But yeah, like because in the reverse, it's like I don't know if I know a lot of like Australian popular cookies and stuff that I would try to make a copycat of. But if you have any suggestions, if there's a good Australian cookie that we should try to do a copycat recipe, let us know, Lazarus Orange.
You know, Lazarus, I tried Tim Tams recently. Which
Those
are
Australian, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, because funny enough, I ordered Outback, and Outback has a Tim Tam dessert right now. It's like a Tim Tam like peanut butter cake, but it comes with like Tim Tam.
Oh, dude, you're out of time.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna have to get. All right.
So wait, is it Tim Tam? Is that what they are?
Tim Tams.
And there's like a dessert?
Yeah, it's like a chocolate peanut butter cookie wafer thing. But
well, I know what Tim Tams are because Dan Tack, another former Game Formatter, Dan Tack was a Tim Tam super fan.
Oh, really?
And so he would have Tim Tams in the office and stuff like that.
Really?
Because Target sells those.
Oh.
Yeah, because you eat them, like he had this whole system where you would like eat them with a coffee. And like you would sort of dip it in the coffee and then drink the coffee through the Tim. He had a whole thing. I don't know.
You lived a strange life. But the cake, it's got like a chocolate cake base with like a peanut butter mousse and then a chocolate like frosting on top of that. That's pretty much the dessert if you look it up at Outback.
Oh my gosh, this guy's demolishing you.
Immediately missed not having a gun. He just destroyed. Yeah, and now he can't.
And now he's like in the cart. What is this guy doing?
This isn't gonna work. I can't get him out. He just.
I mean, I guess
launched
you could
himself in there immediately.
You could use that, but add a gun to it, right?
I'm thinking about just making the claw even wider.
I mean, I think that's the trick. I think if you make the claw just like super wide, you could do like 3 at a time or something like that.
I'm gonna go for a world record and just make the widest claw. Wait, you're not what I want. Let's see. All right. The more names we get, the more fun is to scroll down this list, trying to figure out like which one is the one we need.
What is it? Butt Wing? That's one that we did.
Oh, is it not Fight and Lightning?
Butt Wing. I like how some are fully capitalized and some are not. It's just like.
Okay. Oh, looks like it's been saved. Whatever.
All right. Lazarus Orange says, "I'm quite partial to the iced Vovo." So this is an Australian snack. Iced Vovo. VOVO. Well, that does look pretty good. Is a wheat flour biscuit topped with 2 strips of pink fondant, flanking a strip of raspberry jam and sprinkled with coconut.
I like fondant.
All right. Well, I might have to try to make some of these. They look pretty good.
Have you ever baked? Have you ever made a cake with fondant?
No, I feel like I've messed with fondant. I did something with fondant. But it wasn't like that whole, what people do where they like cover a whole cake with it and stuff like that. It wasn't. I didn't do anything like that. But I have a memory of like
sculpting something,
like rolling it out. Yeah. Why was I rolling out fondant?
The great mystery. What was I doing with that damn fondant?
This thing's looking good, man. This is like a whole ass like. This is.
Look at this thing. Do you think it needs more wheels in the corners? Do you think that's enough to maneuver? I mean, I guess it's got these 2.
I don't think it. Yeah, I don't think it needs it. Maybe it does.
Oh my god, look at this.
I mean, you could even extend it out a little.
Yeah.
Further, maybe. I don't know if that's necessary, but.
Let's see.
You're getting pretty good at building quickly. That's impressive. Because that's like the trick with these kind of games is like getting the hang of like the tools and stuff.
Right.
Like I made a car in Lego 2K Drive, and I like got it done, but I it's one of those things where I was like, oh, I bet people could get really good and fast at this.
All right, we all connected? Oh yeah, this is a.
We're all connected.
This is a wide mouth looking thing. Look at this.
Is that what we call it? The wide mouth?
Yeah, like a hippo.
The hippo. Hippo with a gun.
Hippo with a gun.
This is gonna it's gonna let you do this though, huh?
They're like, we can't stop him.
we,
The game's just shrugging his shoulders like, I guess this is what he wants. All right, let's see. All right, so hippo with a gun is what we're going with.
The wild sound. Do we sleep on this game, or does it just run that much better on current hardware? I mean,
I don't
I don't think it was like
running bad was a problem.
Yeah, that's not why people didn't like it. It ran fine on. I think it was a 360 game, right? Yeah, it was fine. And I'm sure. I bet playing on a Series X now, the improvements are probably just like loading times, I would imagine.
Oh wait, you see how quick it is?
Oh.
Because someone in chat in a previous episode said that in the original game it had the load times were much longer, and they were watching us play and be like, "Oh wow, the load is instantaneous now. Like this is so much better."
Yeah, I could see that helping a lot with this game. I could see that helping a lot because it's like if you're in and out of menus a lot and stuff.
I'm so excited.
Zangmaster says need a helicopter with a magnet. I don't know. Is that? I don't know if that's a thing. Like I don't know if that would be better because I guess these are like in theory you could pick up the sheep with a magnet, right?
I guess it probably would work, but also look at this though. Look at this.
There we go. See, this is great. Okay,
okay,
let's
grab
grab 4 more. You should be good. You probably. I almost wonder if you could get 4 in there, but probably 3 is about your limit, huh?
Yeah. The only not surprisingly, turning is a little bit of an issue, but if I can just maybe line things up a certain way, I can work around that. Let's see,
Yeah.
can I get these 4? Oh, look at we're hugging these. Oh, we should have called it the hugger. It's like a big hug.
It does look like it's like a big hug. This is working, man. This is like
great. We already got over half of them, and I killed all the things because guns, baby.
hippo. What'd you end up calling it? I was like
hippo
looking at
with a
chat.
gun.
Hippo with a gun. Okay, perfect. Now we're moving balls, says Zangmaster. Hell yeah, we are.
Come on, buddies. Oh, don't fall out. Oh.
Okay, well, the point still stands. Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave those, and I'm gonna get more, and then I can get those at the end.
Yeah. This is where this game shines. I feel like is where you try an objective like twice, and you're like, this is harder than it feels like it should be, and then you build a crazy vehicle, then it just makes it like a cakewalk, right? It's like that's where it's like it rewards you for feeling like you're a genius because you're like, it's
like
a
you
thing
broke
that
the game. Like, oh, I bet they didn't expect this, and it's like, yeah, they did, but like you feel like you're getting away with something.
Which is like, I mean, not to bring it back again, Marcus, but that's what Tears of the Kingdom is so good at. Is like it makes you feel like you're breaking the game, when in reality, the developers are like, yeah, no, do great, yeah, if you can do it some other way, like that's exciting. And in fact, we will make it work a number of different ways just to make it a better experience for you.
Yeah.
But it does feel like you're cheating, you know?
Nope. Oh, gravity almost took that over. There we go. Oh,
Gravity, take
this.
the wheel.
Look at this. We still have a full minute. Look at this. Yeah, everybody in there. Let's all just get in there.
Is that all 7?
Yep, that is all. Look at that. I can still get more if I want to. Because it doesn't just stop when you have it. It's like, hey, if you want the rest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you'll get more. Do you think you can get another batch here in time?
If I get more, I probably would get the TT trophy.
Yeah, you should go for it. There's no reason not to. I'm just curious if you would even
this is extra credit
get
now.
back in time.
We're the kid in school that you didn't like, the smart kid that finished his test before everyone else. Like when you're still on page 1, you hear that page flip, and you're like, "How do you get to page 2 up? We just started." He's like answering the extra credit questions.
And then the teacher offers extra credit, but the only people that take advantage of it are the people who don't need it.
Right? You look yourself in the mirror like, why do I do this to myself? I should say yes every time. But I heard we're grading on a curve, so it's okay. As long as most people do well, they'll pick up my slack.
I remember I had some teacher. Oh, no, you're not going to make it. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. We tried.
But shared that revelation with the class where she was like, yeah, I don't really do extra credit because the only people who take advantage of it are people who really don't even need it.
I mean, that's
Damn it, you're totally right.
Yeah, that's some honesty there. I don't know how I would feel if I heard that. If I was like not the extra credit person, that would probably make me. I feel like that just makes you look in the mirror and go like, yeah, I guess I could try harder, huh?
Were you one of those kids, Marcus? You did extra credit when you didn't need to, really?
Yeah, I did actually. I was like an honor. I was a constant honor roll student, so I was the guy flipping the page before everyone else.
Right.
But I've been in classes where I was not the smartest person in the room, and so I know the dread of like, oh my God, Steve is what?
Oh, Steve.
This test is hard as hell. How are you? Did you cheat? It's because he's got that TI-80 whatever calculator. That's probably what it is, right? Basically does all the work. It's building graphs for him. I'm too poor for that, so I got my whole dinky little protractor and compass trying to do the same thing, basically.
Your pocket protector.
You know, his little supercomputer on his desk you can play games on. All right.
Oh, is this the soccer guy again?
Yeah. The greatest museum in the greatest. You don't know what you want to say.
Yeah, what is it? What's he getting at here?
Hey, Banjo, the only museum exhibits I see are the clothes this Joker insists on wearing. Oh!
Jeez. Wait, what? Hold on. I actually don't get that insult.
I think she's saying his clothes are old and out of date, so they belong in a museum. I think that's the implication there. So it's like, hey,
all right.
Like if you go up to someone and say, nice, nice museum exhibit you got there. I'm sure they would be hurt. They would understand immediately that it was an insult. Oh, what is this?
What is that? It's like a Trojan horse thing?
You should speeding through Banjo Land and expect there'll be hundreds of visitors turning up any rate. Pass through a series of checkpoints with a minimum. Oh, it's one of these. Okay.
So you just gotta go as fast as you can.
Yeah, I think the challenge is really the vehicle you use because they all control differently. Yeah, what am I?
But I mean, you can.
Is it supposed to be a horse?
I guess. What's happening there?
Oh, just gotta hit that minimum speed.
So are you racing or?
No, it's just the hit the speedometer thing, you know.
Okay.
Go fast
but
enough.
you don't. But you don't have a speedometer on screen, right? So you don't really know.
Yeah, I just kind of wait for it to say I did it whenever I do these.
Yeah. How's this thing control?
Better than you might think.
All right.
I still don't know what it is.
Oh.
I had the same feeling. I clenched up a little bit there. We're good.
Wait, is this a checkpoint race? Like, I don't understand. Like, you think it would have like given you the sort of complete by now if it was just hitting a certain speed. Oh,
there we go.
I guess you did it. Sure.
I got it. Oh, I got everything. So I did it well. There you go. Yeah, give me that jiggy. Alright, was that the last? Oh, no, there's one more left in this world. Also, where's my car? Can I have that, please? Whoop.
Whoa, is this your... Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know where it was, but alright, last one's down there, probably in the water. And oh.
Ah!
At least this chair didn't fly out again.
God, that was so strange. And you got your floaters up this time.
Oh yeah, we floaters up. So when you know it's a party, you see the floaters up, you're like, uh-oh. Boat party.
Never had the privilege to attend a boat party, but I trust you.
Same. I've never been on a cruise, despite growing up in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
What the? Whoa! What the? Whoa!
What is this thing? What is happening? And there's your chair knocked off again.
He just got super upset suddenly.
What is with this episode and you like knocking you out of your chair?
What the hell? It's like jet. He like flipped out. I was driving along 5. And you decided I was not having any of that. I can't let you live.
Kill this thing.
Yeah,
Murder this thing.
Jesus Christ, what was that?
That was bizarre.
You went from...
That's so...
Oh, whoops. You went from 0 to 50 real quick.
It's so funny to me that, like, your chair has been knocked off your vehicle twice when it's like has never happened before until this episode. I guess it's just a thing that's going to happen to you all the time now.
It's getting old. Let's see. Little Klungo. Yeah, I don't like reading Klungo because he's too hissy, you know?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Can't do it. You know what I worry about? Never getting to star in a game with characters who can speak properly. Oh.
No, Kazooie feels similarly, I guess.
Oh, boy. Alright, what are we doing? What do you want, Klungo? Oh, it's like a bigger version of the whatever we just, like a horse thing.
Oh, and this one can go through the water because it's got floaters on it.
I want that to be my default car. I want like a horse looking thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like snaky. It reminds me of like, was it, remember that creature in the Mario 64 in the caverns? It's like Nessie.
Oh no, I've never.
You have to like get on its head.
Because I've never finished Mario 64, but I remember, was it her name? Plessy in Mario 3D World? The little Plessy sword that you ride on?
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of, yeah.
Yeah. I remember wanting a plushie. A plushie of Plessy.
A Plessy plushie?
Plessy plushie, yeah. Is that better?
What the? These competing racers.
This is just... Oh, I keep getting caught in this guy's legs.
Okay.
There we go, alright. Get out of here.
I wonder if there's a strategy of like riding along the bottom while they're riding on the top. You know, get underneath them without turn off your floaters.
Oh yeah, these are retractable. Oh, that'd be. If I wasn't winning, that would be a fun strat. They never see it coming. Also, I like
Persona 5 style.
When you pass them, they shake their fist at you.
Oh, do they? Yeah, I missed that.
Yeah, I like that. Like, ah, oh, you dang bear. Okay, now we're good. Now we're pod racing.
Yeah, you're like way ahead at this point, I think, right?
You know, I could probably build a pod racer from scratch in this game.
So that's a new thing I've seen people do in Tears of the Kingdom now.
Really?
Is build like it's like pods, like pod racers, where they have like the wheels like way out front and stuff. They're funky.
Oh, that's awesome. I finally found the little gacha machines in Zelda that give you the control sticks, which I've been trying to find.
Oh, right. Yeah, rockets and control sticks are like, once you find those machines, it's like, okay, I'll come back to this, or I'll stock up on these right now. You know?
Oh, I have currently like 29 control sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know when I'll find these again. And granted, you could always just fast travel back there.
Yeah, go back.
I don't have to do that all the time, so I loaded up. I did a
it is
Costco crate on those things.
Yeah, it is nice the way, because not a lot of the game works like that, but those Zonai device machines, like it's nice that they're like, it'll tell you what's in them from the map.
Yeah.
What are you doing here, Marcos?
I realized now I was trying to do it the hard way. I was like, I don't see the. Oh no!
Not him. You killed him. Oh, you know he's back. He probably killed his brother. Now he's pissed. You got knocked out of your chair again?
The exit is right there, and it just would not let me leave. Now I gotta get. Man, I could just go. I don't need. It'll respawn back in the. Oh my. Oh!
It's not letting you climb up here, is it?
His suction is so powerful. Oh my god. Leave me alone. I'm leaving. It's like, just let me leave.
We get it. This is your territory. I'm gone.
It's jet engine. I kind of want to strap him to a car because of how powerful he is. And we'd be flying. If you had, like, those fans in Tears of the Kingdom, like that guy, you put him on a little bird wing thing. Oh, you know what I did yesterday, Kyle? I was playing Tears of the Kingdom, and I strapped the big wheels to
Yeah.
the bird wings, and I made
Oh.
like an air ground car, because you could drive it on the car like normally, but then I drove it off a cliff and just flew to my next destination and kept driving.
Oh,
And
nice.
It was like the ultimate breakthrough of like, oh, this is the ultimate all-in-one. Like, I'm a genius.
Yeah, I don't know if I put those birds on the carts all the time to give you like the takeoff, you know. But, yeah, I never put the big wheels on them.
Yeah, you have to put them on a certain way to where it, you know, it orients the way you would want it to, like around like the tips of the wings.
Right.
But when you get it, it's like perfect. And it's one of those moments where you're like, this worked in the way my dumb brain said it would, or hoped that it would.
It's so you put 2 wheels on there on either side and it balances?
Like, well, 1 wheel on each side, so it's 2 wheels total.
Right.
So like
Yeah.
on the wing tips, and then I just put a control stick, and then I just drove around. And so like the back is sort of dragging
weird.
like the tail, but it's kind of fun. It's almost it's almost like a bird-shaped Segway, like the way it's sort of.
Okay,
like
well that's what I was
balances on the
wondering
wings.
if it balanced like perfectly where you could sort of
Yeah,
that's
not
cool.
quite. I wonder. I don't think I would have enough space, but if I put the little balancing zonite thing on it, if it would like completely make it upright, you know?
Oh, maybe.
I could try that, but it was fine without it. Like, you know, it didn't really.
You weren't
sacrifice
getting
speed
slowing
or
down that
anything.
much.
Yeah. But yeah, the moment where I drove it off a big cliff and it just flew and I landed and kept driving, it felt so good.
And you took a clip of it, right?
I did not. I can do it again. I have the.
No, it's never gonna happen again.
It's like, I have the technology, Kyle. I got all that stuff in my inventory. Oh, what is this?
Yeah, where are you? What's
You
happening?
see this? Like an audience of creepy looking dolls. Just waving.
Don't care for it.
It's like an arena. What have I stumbled into here?
I don't know.
Oh, it's another soccer game? I guess I shouldn't be surprised because Rare is a UK-based studio, but they really like their soccer.
What's was it they call it the world's oldest game? Is that the other what people call it?
Is that? Wait, are
Did I
we
make
claiming
that
that
up?
soccer is the oldest sport in the world? Because that is not true.
Something? I feel like they said it in like Ted Lasso or something.
Maybe like the world's most popular game, which is more accurate, but like
Man, that might
not
be
the
it,
oldest game. Like, I mean, like discus throwing and like wrestling.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want to go way back, let's see. You got our old frenemy. Let's see. No, you fools! I came to lay waste, but it's already trash. I should have made haste. Oh yeah, I forgot she rhymes. Forgot Gruntilda spits bars. All she knows how to do. It's her biggest gift and her biggest curse.
You know, it is, to be clear. We should just call it. It should be called football universally. By the way, soccer.
Oh, I
We're the
agree,
dumb
like-
ones.
Our,
It's a game you play with your feet.
yeah, I when I found that out when I was like a teenager, I was like, yeah. It was one of those moments where you're like, the same thing with like the metric system, like, oh, we're the only weirdos that like, no one understands inches and anything. Like we're the outliers. Okay.
Like let's call it tackle ball and then call soccer football. Like let's just get it right.
I mean, Vince McMahon solved the problem. He had the XFL. Let's just call it the XFL. just take the F out. I mean, he already did it with WWE. Now you got to take the F out of football.
What was the deal with the XFL? It was like football with fewer rules or something.
Basically, it was like his pitch was that at the time football had gotten too boring and that he was calling it the no fun league. I think that's when the NFL was cracking down on like dancing and like other stuff. So he was basically like, hey, what if you had real like fun man's football? And so yeah, basically it had not no rules, but less rules. Most famously had instead of the coin toss, they had to run to get the ball. Like two players raced each other to get the ball that was on the ground, and whoever got it got possession with the game, which led to a ton of injuries because the players would regularly crash into each other. Yeah, it was. Have you ever watched the ESPN 30 for 30 on the XFL from like 2-3 years ago?
No, never. No, I hear that. I
it's
hear that
really
series
good.
is is really entertaining, even if you don't like sports, right? The 30
Yeah.
for 30s.
I'm just saying, I watched it because of the wrestling thing. Like, when I was watching, watch wrestling when the XFL was on, I was, like, tired of hearing about it because they were promoted on Raw constantly, and I was like, I don't care. Sorry, I'm just looking at this real quick. Knocked
you're fine.
home from her vehicle, so I need something to hit her with. I mean, a gun probably would. I know we keep defaulting to that, but they're like, I bet a gun could do it.
Gun could solve all these problems.
But let's pick a gun card and let's see how that goes. But yeah, the 30 for 30, it's called This is the XFL, and it's got interviews with Vince McMahon and I think Dick Evertall or somebody. But it's a very, very fascinating look at the XFL. And also, like, it's pretty fair in the sense of, like, the XFL is remembered as, like, this kind of embarrassing disaster. But it actually introduced some innovations that the NFL later adopted. Like, like having the camera go up to huddles so you can get, like, the intimate look at, like, oh, they're doing a play. And, like, follow, because that's stuff from wrestling. The way in wrestling they follow them around backstage and stuff.
Oh, right, sure.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, let's just do that in football. And also, like, the overhead camera that, like, zooms in, and it's basically like a drone shot, more or less.
It's like over the top of the field, right?
Yeah, like the XFL.
I think it was on, like, a rope, right? Or something?
Yeah. Like, the XFL did that first. And I didn't know that. So they were like, yeah, people tend to not give it its credit because it's kind of remembered as a punchline, but it had some real good ideas in there.
Apparently, yeah, the Wild Stallion says they tried to bring it back as no politics, and then COVID hit, and now I think The Rock owns it.
Yeah, they brought it back in 2019, and then the pandemic hit, and then killed it again, because everything went down. And then The Rock bought it, and now it's going now, I believe. And it's weird because there's that, and there's like another alternative football league that I forget the name of it, but they're like running at the same time during the off season. So there's technically like 3 leagues of American football right now, and 2 of them are on at the same time, and I don't know how that works just from viewership of like, I'm not a football fan, so I don't know if I would like to know from football fans, like, do you feel compelled to watch those other 2 when the NFL is not on? Also, the other cool thing about the XFL is that they were like, oh, the players have to have personality because wrestling. So, like, all the jerseys had nicknames instead of their actual name. Like, they said, like, hey, if you have a cool nickname, just put that on there. So the jersey names were all just absurd. And the most famous player was a guy who called himself He Hate Me.
He hate me.
Because his thing was like, oh, he's so good that I think he was a running back, but he was so good that like he'd be like, oh, I'm so good, like I ran circles around that player and he hate me.
That is a good nickname. He hate me.
Yeah, so just seeing a professional jersey that just says He Hate Me on the back is amazing. And I think he's one of the few that transitioned to the NFL after the XFL went under.
Yeah, apparently, so The Rock bought the XFL in 2020 for $15 million, apparently.
That sounds pretty cheap. Actually,
yeah.
For an entire football league. Is there a Ted Lasso show somewhere in there, but just with The Rock owning the XFL?
Yeah. Or just have Ted Lasso come and because, like, he's back in America now and just have him be part of the XFL and bringing his unique brand of optimism to a cynical sport,
Are you saying that The Rock is not a good Ted Lasso-esque figure?
Actually, he could be a Ted Lasso, I think. Yeah, that's true.
Like passing out energy drinks and posting workout videos.
So what are you doing? You're just fighting Gruntilda here?
I'm trying to knock her off. I don't think I'm doing a good job. I am doing damage, but I think I need to do enough to where she kind of takes a fall,
Yeah.
Like if I can get rid of one of her legs.
Like she doesn't have like health or anything, right?
No, it's just about like knocking her over.
There's a weird vehicle that she has. It's like a pogo, stick situation
spider
or something. Yeah.
Pogo sticks are one of those things I kind of wish I learned how to do. Like I knew a kid in my neighborhood in elementary school that had a pogo stick.
Yeah.
The only person I've ever met in real life that has a pogo stick. But I would try his all the time, and I could get maybe 2 jumps before I, fall over.
It's not that complicated, right? Like you do it for like an hour or 2. You'll get good at it.
It's kind of scary because you're afraid you'll go too high, and that if you don't land right, you might eat it pretty bad. It's a lot of it is mental. Have you been good at it? Like you can pogo or could pogo?
I mean, when I was younger, I remember. I don't know if I had one or a family friend had one. I think that's what it was, and I would like just pogo around their driveway a bunch. You know what I kind of want to get is a unicycle.
Yeah, unicycle's in that same camp as a pogo stick of like a really novelty form of getting around.
Yeah, like if I could, like, what's the deal with unicycles? Like, are they super complicated? Is it hard to learn? Like, yeah, like, would it be fun? Would I enjoy it?
I mean, it'd probably be fun if you knew how to do it, just because it seems fun. I don't think I've ever seen someone look sour on a unicycle. just an angry person on a unicycle. Like, this is all I could afford. I couldn't afford the rest of the bike. I had enough for 1 wheel and a chair.
The other thing I will look at all the time and like price out and like, man, maybe I do want to save up and get one of these. Is just like an electric scooter.
Is it the ones that you sit on, or the ones that people stand on? The
one like you stand on,
so
right? Like
a
that
lot
they'll
of
have
people in my neighborhood use
stuff.
those. Yeah.
And like, I always look at them and I'm like, man, I'm always like, they seem fun, and I could see myself just like riding around my neighborhood in it. But I'm like, if I'm like riding around my neighborhood on an electric scooter, like I should probably be like running or riding a bike or something, right? I should probably be like exercising. Like it feels like I'm like, so I always like talk myself out of it, but like I do kind of want one to just sort of ride around the neighborhood.
Yeah, I have a bike that I ride pretty often, just for I mean, not even just for fitness, but just because I've always liked riding bikes.
Yeah.
And I live in a good area for it, but like whenever I do see the people with those electric scooters, I'm like, that might be kind of nice for like short. But I kind of tend to either ride my bike or just walk to places, because I'm lucky to be within the arm's reach of like grocery stores and stuff, and I'll often just walk there because it was like, oh, it's close enough.
Oh, that's cool.
My car, and it's the excuse to work out, especially when you work from home. You're like, any excuse to get out is great. But those electric scooters are, I've only ever once came close to renting those ones you see like in big cities. Like there was one E3 where I almost got one, but then I realized you have to download like an app to your phone to pay for it, and it was just so much work. And it's like, nah, this is going way better, by the way, because I picked this tank car. So I was like, if I can get under her, that'll throw her off.
When they started showing up in Minneapolis, I actually one weekend went out with my brother and we just found some, because they were like still hard to come by at that point. They just started appearing one day.
Oh.
And so my brother and I went like and found some and drove it around a little bit, and just to be like, just to say that we did kind of almost is what I wanted to do. I was like, I just want to try this weird thing,
Is it fun?
Yeah, it was fun. I remember even like this is like getting into the weeds of things, but when we had the Game Informer office and there were some nearby, those scooters, they have a system in place where like they will pay you to charge them overnight, right? So like
pay you?
Like, yeah, so like in theory, if you live in a city with those scooters, like if you go and pick up like 3 or 4 of them and put them in your house and charge them overnight and then put them back out on the street, like they'll pay you for that. Like you get money for doing that, right? And I was looking into it when we had when there was still the Game Informer office, and I was kind of like, I was like, could I just like get a little extra income by like grabbing some scooters and like plugging them in before I go home for the day, and then like putting them back out on the street first thing in the morning here in the office,
Yeah. I mean, how much money are we talking for that?
Oh, very little, like not much. And like the thing was also, it was like they wanted you to pick them up at like 9 o'clock at night and then put them back out in the street at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm not staying late and coming in early to deal with scooters, But I really looked at it. I was like,
I respect the hustle, but yeah.
Yes, exactly. But I mean, that's how those scooters get charged and stuff. Is people there's people who live nearby who will just like charge them overnight and make a couple bucks doing that.
Yeah, I always assumed that they had employees that worked at those companies that like maybe late at night would be responsible for tracking them down. 'Cause, some people leave them in weird spots.
Yeah,
Like okay,
I mean
your
that's
job's
the
to
other
go out
thing
and
is
find them. And
that's the other thing is your best bet to make it a real like quote unquote job would be like you probably need like a van. You could just sort of drive around and grab a bunch of them and charge them. I don't know. There must be groups of people doing that. Like make some money doing that. I guess
maybe someone in chat does it. Anyone in chat do this before?
Yeah.
Scooter chauffeur.
Scooter charger.
Scooter charger. I think that's going to be the name of a future vehicle in this game. This is tricky. I thought I had cracked the code.
Cause you're just trying to knock her over.
I think so, and I don't know if I'm doing it. It's come close. She's gotten the edge.
Yeah, because when you first started,
she takes like 3 regular jumps, then does like 1 big jump like this, and then she, repeats basically.
And it's like it seems like adding a gun isn't that helpful in this instance.
Now, granted, the card that I used only had 1 gun. If I added more, I could get some more shots on. I just kind of wanted to see what a gun would do to her, if it would have any effect. And it seemed like it.
Like it seems like this is the best strategy though. Is like just hit her with like a tank,
Yeah.
Or like maybe you could like a helicopter. Like is she top heavy?
I thought about that for a second when I was picking this car as like a. Let's see. Oh, is she waiting for me? Okay. Oh, she just wanted to shoot some stuff.
Sangmaster asks, can you fight her outside of your vehicle?
Yeah, I can get out, but I don't know if I can actually do anything useful out here.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be that useful.
Also, it's one of the rare instances where my health is like a factor, because like I don't really get hit to where I'm low health, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the only times I've died is, or not even died, but like it's usually I just fail challenges is like the only game over, but like I think I've only like straight up died once.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That also reminds me that we should probably go see the upgrade guy at some point, because I probably have enough currency at this point to, boost some stats.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just so many, so many springs. That's a pogo right there.
Yeah, like if she landed on you, she might tip over maybe.
She's kind of landed a few times. It's hard because I can't really position the camera high enough to kind of like see where she's coming from, you know what I mean?
Right, get underneath her really.
Yeah, I can kind of get her if I'm lucky, but yeah. Or if they don't even do the thing where like, oh, you can see her shadow from above, so you can get under it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some sort of
Well, I wonder because the spring, I don't want to get right under her because it'll still be level. I need to get her like off center as best I can, but even then, she seems to recover fairly well when I do it. I think I'm about to run out of time.
Well, what is it? What do you have? Because it's counting up. What is it like? At 6 minutes, it says, "Never mind, you're not doing it."
Well, I'm at the end of the meter because I started in the blue and now I'm in the doo-doo water.
Right.
So, yeah, that's probably not good.
We gotta come up with something different, I think.
All right.
But I don't really have any big ideas. Like, you could maybe like with a plane, maybe like fly into her.
Yeah, I could fly like into her cockpit, just hit her in the face with basically punch her with a plane.
Punch her with a yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Like
do you have any good like?
Oh, I not only do I have a plane, Kyle, but I have a plane with a gun. So you can just rain hell from above.
The red bear on.
Did they still make Red Baron pizza? I feel like I haven't seen that in a while.
I think so. It was never my brand.
Yeah, Red Baron's kind of it's like a rung below like DiGiorno. It's kind of like in the Tombstone level, but I think I would still take Tombstone over Red Baron.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had a Red Baron. Surely at some point. I mean, I like a good frozen pizza.
Yeah, I like those. I used to get those Tostinos, like those mini pizzas. I had a phase where I used to eat those all the time because they were like $1. And as a college kid, you're like, I can have a freezer full of these for like $10.
Yeah, I think I did too. I remember eating, like, microwaving those and in like the GameStop microwave in the back room. Yeah.
Were you just like, I mean, I was gonna say, like, I'm sure you aren't eating it at like the front counter, just like a mini pizza.
No. Just like go on break and hang out in the back room. And yeah, God, I think I did eat those a lot.
Folding it up in front of the register, like, hey, what's up?
God, I was just talking about earlier before we started how I feel like over the last 12 hours I had like very light food poisoning where I just did not feel great. And I was like, man, I bet if I ate one of those today, that's exactly how I would feel, you know? If I microwaved a Totino's pizza in the back room of a GameStop specifically.
See, microwave it. I never microwaved them. I always made them in either the oven or I used to have a small toaster oven because you want that crispy crust. I feel like if you microwave it, it's like soggy.
No, I don't like microwave food in general, but I mean, look, when you're working your shift, right, and all you got some microwave.
You guys don't have a toaster oven back there? Is that what you're saying?
Probably not. I mean, I'm even surprised there were even a microwave back there in retrospect.
Yeah, I don't think because I used to work at GameStop too for about a little over a year, and I don't think we had one. I mean, definitely had time to do it.
I still have. Do you have dreams about working at GameStop? I worked at a GameStop for like 7 years. Like I worked at a few over the course of a long period of time, and I have like dreams still where I'm like all of a sudden I'm like, oh crap, I forgot about this shift at this place I haven't worked at in like decades, but now I gotta go in
these pre-ordered games back in, or we gotta take these trade-ins and put them back on the shelves and stuff.
And I'll remember some of the computer codes for the different platforms and stuff.
You could still hack into the computer today.
To hack in.
No, the only job I've ever had I still have dreams about is serving.
Just right. Oh yeah, to do that for a long time.
Just the anxiety involved with it. Like there are times where, you know, you're like, I've certainly had dreams where like, oh, I forgot to greet this table, and now this like party of 10 is upset with me, or I forgot to bring them drinks, or it's always like I forgot to do something and there's a bunch of people mad at me. That's usually how it goes. Also, I'm shooting her right in the face and it feels real good. And I'm gonna crash right. Oh, she took me with her.
I mean, how's this going though? Like, I don't know.
I can't tell if it's
you
doing
have
anything,
to knock her over, right?
I don't know if maybe shooting her in the face would have her flip out and flip herself over. I mean, otherwise I can be a little bit more surgical and target some legs.
Yeah, I don't know what the strategy is, because right, the goal is tip her over, right?
Yeah. Oh wait, she's blinking. You see her little cockpit? It's like blinking in a way that I don't think it, like, kind of. Does that mean it's about to break? Should I keep laying it in?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
If and when you knock her out, that might be a good place to call it, actually, Marcus.
I will say that the gun and the ammo is making the plane a little top heavy.
Okay.
I nosedive pretty easily.
Oh,
but
I see.
It's still controllable, but it is a factor.
You have to sort of.
Oh boy. Whoops.
Excuse me, got hit with a crazy yawn. You kind of have to account for it, right?
Yeah.
Crater Gaming says this sounds a lot like the college graduate anxiety dream of forgetting you had a class all semester and wasn't going for some reason, even though you're done with school. Yeah, I still have those all the time.
Really? I've never had that. I've heard of that. Though.
I have like high school dreams where like I have full. It's not like I'm in a different reality. Right. It's like me. Like suddenly I have to be in high school again, and I'm like, I don't want to be here, and I have like a job. Like I don't need to do this.
I'm
like
a kid.
I'm like, you can take away my high school diploma. I don't care. I'm still going to retain my job. I'm not going to get fired because I don't have a high school diploma, you know?
Right.
But everyone's like, I don't know, man. Sorry. You got to go to social studies on the 3rd floor. I'm like, all right. Like, you don't have dreams like that, Mark?
Not really with school, no. But I don't think so. I mean, in general, school wasn't really that anxiety-inducing. I mean, yeah, there's certainly instances of like, oh, there's an assignment you're worried about, but like, I liked high school overall, like quite a bit. Probably more than most people do. I know people, a good amount of people have like negative feelings about high school, and you know, fair.
Sure.
I was lucky to go to a pretty solid school. So yeah, maybe that's why. I have more good memories.
Like it was a
than bad
pleasant
memories.
experience for you.
Yeah, it was kind of like just a regular high school. It was honestly almost like sitcom, like.
Yeah.
And sort of
Okay.
like the archetypes that were there. And maybe I
mean,
think that amused me at the time.
I certainly had a pleasant school experience. I didn't really. High school was fine. It was all fine, you know. So I don't know why it's just that lingering anxiety. Just that's how it manifests is in my dreams in that way.
Yeah, like I said. Oh, okay. She is about to break. So her limbs are blinking.
Okay.
Like that last sort of like volley did some damage there.
But you're.
Oh, she fell. She fell around.
Okay, so did you win then?
I don't know, but she's down. I mean, I'm gonna keep shooting because she can't. She's helpless.
Because you're in the red now. So even though let's
Her
see,
gun's
use the
blinking?
spear, come here and
Oh,
fight.
oh.
I stayed up
Oh.
doing this thing all night.
We did it.
But I don't know if you got a jiggy though.
I better have. Wait.
Yeah, you didn't do it fast enough.
What?
That was like some real genuine disappointment, Marcus. You're like, what? But I knocked her over.
I felt really good about that. So I have to do it under 350, or I at least I know I can't
Well,
go over 350.
that's what you did. You did it in 350, so it's probably you got to do it in like a minute or something. I don't think it said the time that you had to do it by.
I don't think it ever does. I mean, I think that meter at top is sort of your indicator. I just don't. I was in the brown, right?
Yes, yeah, you were.
Okay, I probably don't want to get there. I think if I'm in the yellow, I'm still in the clear. But I don't think I want to be in the brown.
It's too bad because you were really because like you had just dipped into the brown. Like you were pretty close.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So it might be like
we can call it
3.5 minutes maybe.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, now in my head of like, I know I want to adjust the plane so that I think I'm going to put the gun, like maybe 2 pairs of guns on the wings, and then maybe put the ammo underneath, and then maybe add some weight to the back to compensate. So that's just not...
Yeah, let's call it here. Let's sleep on it. Let's come back with some new ideas, you know?
Yeah. I got
all right.
percolating. But okay. Yeah. Well, there we go, everyone. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great weekend. This will be up on YouTube tomorrow on our Game Informer Show's YouTube channel. Be sure to visit GameInformer.com. Check out our cover story, Final Fantasy 16. Check out the Game Informer Show coming up later tonight. And yeah, we shall see you next week. Have a great one, everyone. Bye-bye.
See ya.